Hello Makeup Void, I'm Trin and welcome back to my channel. So I am back from my vacation in Washington DC and also Virginia. I think we were in Virginia Beach and Hampton, Virginia. I didn't know that going into this trip. I thought we were spending the entire week in DC, so I really didn't know what was going on this entire week. So you just saw my makeup travel bag. I'm going to be taking some things from my travel makeup bag. I haven't fully emptied it out. I just got back last night. So we're going to talk about the trip. I might show some pictures up that I took during the trip. Some things you can just Google online, so it'll be a lot of family photos, but that's what we're doing for today's video. Give it a like, subscribe, let's go ahead and get rolling. For eyes, I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Mini Pastel Palette. I brought this because it's in my No Pan Left Behind project. I believe that video is already up. So I'm also going to take something I also packed with it, which is e.l.f. Bombshell. Don't know if this is available or not, but I've been using it like mad. And this is actually going to be the third time I've used this palette. But, okay, let's talk about the trip. It was kind of a disaster. It started off really rocky, so we left on Saturday, and the flight took off at 6:45. So, like the 2-hour airport rule, I was telling my husband, let's leave at 3:30 in the morning because it takes an hour to get to the airport. And he's like, okay, sounds good. Well, he didn't really want to pack during the night. He had to pull an all-nighter because his sleep schedule doesn't really exist. And so he pulled an all-nighter, which was the first problem. And he packed, but he didn't pack all that much during the night because he didn't want to wake me up. And I'm like, dude, wake me up. Like, I wake up all the time anyways. I will just fall back asleep. It's not a big deal. So he didn't really pack during the night. And I get up at 3, my stuff is already packed, good to go. All I have to do is like brush my hair, brush my teeth, and I'm good. And he, on the other hand, is scrambling. We don't get out of the house until 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to take the pink shade in this palette. It doesn't have a name. This palette is so dirty. I don't know. I don't even know if this palette is still available. So I'm just going to take the pink shade, put it all over my lid. Nice frosty pink. And so he is running late. He can't find what he needs. He forgot to pack something entirely, which takes a while. So he is just scrambling and scrambling. He's getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated, but I'm just like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to help? We don't get out of the house until 4:30 in the morning. And anyways, that's the eye look. That's all we're doing. Okay, so I actually want to talk about a new product. I know I just literally only talked about the trip. But we got to the airport just fine. We had our happy ending. Everything worked out okay. So while we were on vacation, I finally decided to pick up the Merit stick. I don't know what this is called. I just know I have it in the shade Bone. It's like their complexion stick. And I'm gonna do this today as my only, like I did primer. I used my Project Pan items I'm back to my Project Pan items. I brought a few on vacation, but I didn't bring a whole lot. But I did bring this I brought the Hourglass concealer, but then I went to a Sephora in downtown DC because what do you do on vacation? You go to a Sephora, not because you have to, but because you want to. I was using my sponge because I didn't bring a foundation brush, but, oh, shits. I got this Sigma F80. So I want to see how this product applies with a brush. Because I felt like with a sponge, it just took a little too much more time to blend than I like it to. So that was something that happened in DC. We were downtown a lot. And one night I was waiting on my husband and his dad to do something. And so my mother-in-law and I were just sitting at this like burger joint. I was like waiting and just waiting. And I was like, husband sends me a pic of a Sephora as he's walking around. And he's like, I'm going to Photoshop you in this picture. Maybe I should put that up if I find it. But he sends me that, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am gonna go to Sephora, because I've had my eye on this complexion stick for a while. And of course, it says it's in stock on the app, so I was like, oh, I'll go check it out. I'll see. Also, this is my first time doing my makeup and like lighting I actually like in a week. So that's nice, and I can actually see this. It definitely blended out quicker. I would say from what I could tell in the lighting that I had that this product wore pretty well. Do I want actual concealer though? Maybe I'll just apply more of the product. Is it a good shade match? Maybe a little too late. I think bronzer can't fix. A little bit up here. I have this massive breakout up here. I don't know if I'm going to call this stick like foundation, put in my foundation or the concealer category. I think I put in a foundation category. I'll see. Anyways, so the first few days of this trip, like I think it was pretty obvious in my pack my makeup pebble out with me video that I was not excited to go on this vacation because I wasn't. I enjoy being around my in-laws family, but it's not something I'm like excited for, and I always have travel anxiety. Like, it's always so bad. It's always just so bad because being late to the airport or doing this, just like everything that goes around with traveling just gives me an overwhelming amount of anxiety. And also being away from home. I don't like being away from home and my cats, especially for a week. Like, I'm gone for like 2 or 3 days and I'm like, I just miss my cats. I just miss my good boys. And they were fine. We found a good sitter on Rover and she took care of the boys just fine. Moose warmed up to her pretty quickly and, you know, got his cuddles with her. And Freddie was just Freddie and hid in the closet the entire week. Or at least the times that she was here. So, I mean, that was the boys' update, and we got updates every day from them on Rover. So, like, I knew they were taken care of, but it's just like, I'm such a homebody, where it's like, I don't like being gone away for a long periods of time. And actually, I am planning a vacation already. Probably at the end of January. I might try to convince my brother if we can push it back a little bit. He wants me to visit him in January for his birthday. And I don't really like the idea of traveling when there's a chance of a snowstorm. So, I don't like the idea of that. Anyways, I didn't want to be on this family trip. So the first 2 days I moped. I was a mopey sourpuss. We did some pretty cool things. So we left on Saturday. On Sunday, we did a private tour of the city. So, my in-laws, like, hired this tour guy and his van. And, like, it was a company. And he just drove us around the city to all the memorials and a bunch of places, and we got a really cool looking city. And oh my goodness, though, was it rainy? Was it humid? It was not good DC weather. It was not good weather. This entire trip, the weather was not good. We get there Saturday, it was sunny and humid. Oh boy, was it humid. Gonna go in with hypnosis. Oh boy, was it humid and hot. But then, like, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it was humid and rainy. It was just a whole bunch of humid and rainy. So, sorry, my nose is running because what is new? But we did the cool things. We did the tour of the DC, you know, we had that private tour, and the tour guide was really cool. We saw, like, the Korean War Memorial. We saw a bunch of DC things. Honestly, I was in such a bad mood. I cannot tell you all the things we saw because I just had this pity party attitude of I don't want to be here. I don't want to be with these people. I want to be home with my cats. I'd rather be working, you know, catching up on all of the juicy work gossip. You know, I'd rather be doing that. I don't want to be here. Point blank. There's like this patchiness on this cheek. It's fine. We're going to cover it up with powder. I need to start putting some of this stuff away as I go. And then so Monday we go on a tour of the Capitol. And in order to do a tour of the Capitol, you have to go through your congressperson. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder today. I'm going to go in with that. And the Natasha High Glam Powder Foundation. But I want to use it to set my under eyes. So you have to go through your congressman. And so we do that. Like my in-laws get through their congressman. And we go through a tour of the Capitol. And again, I'm such a freaking sourpuss this entire fluffing time. I don't want to be here. Like, just this attitude. But it was actually really cool. I didn't show my like oohs and ahs at that point. Like everyone around me was having a great time. Like everyone else was having the time of their freaking life. And I'm just here like throwing myself a pity party. Pretty much. Ooh. Huh? Are we not gonna have a good makeup day going back to work? Are we not gonna have a good makeup day going back to work? But the tour of the Capitol was really cool because, like, I don't know if you had to do a tour. I think you didn't have to do a tour through your congressman, but we did. And we got this very private tour of the Capitol. And we saw a bunch of cool things. I can't tell you exactly what we saw, but something that we were privileged to do was actually see the floor of the House of Reps. And, you know, me being a sourpuss, I'm just like, husband's like, isn't this amazing? Isn't it cool? What do you think about this? And I'm just like, I could care less. I couldn't care less. F all this shit. I don't care. I want to go home. So that was me this entire trip. But we saw the floor of the House of Reps, which was actually pretty freaking exciting. And we actually saw them do a test of like the voting lights, so all the panels turned on, and we got to see that. So most people who tour the Capitol do not get such a luxurious experience, but we were very fortunate in doing that. So it was actually cool. Like, I'm not gonna admit that to my family. Might share this video to Facebook. Just spilling the tea on our vacation. But on the floor of the House of Reps, like, I can't even post pictures of that because they literally, before we entered the floor, they literally had us take off all electronic devices, leave everything outside of the room, including smartwatches. I have a smartwatch, so not even my smartwatch I could bring in. So the coolest part of the Capitol tour, I couldn't even get pictures of, even if I wanted to. Alright, let's take a close-up. Let's do a zoomy zoom in on this skin. I think it's actually looking pretty dang good. I think the mirrored stick is actually looking quite impressive. With the Natasha Denona foundation on a fluffy brush. I used my powder puff for the foundation on the trip because I wanted fuller coverage. But I didn't want the full coverage because I have all the cream products going on. My nose is a disaster. But it's always a disaster. So it doesn't matter. I think I'm going to buy a couple other foundations and do a foundation wear test video. I think I'm going to do that. Alright, let me do eyeliner, which is still probably in this bag. Oh look, makeup brushes that are still in here. Whoop-de-doo. Let's see if I can talk and do eyeliner at the same time. So, let's test out this theory. So, mopey butt. Woe is me getting this, like, all you can pay for foundation. Or vacation. Whoa, that leaked like a mother. Whoa, that was a leaky bubble. Oh my gosh, I just got black ink all over this tissue. Okay. I don't know if I should be using this eyeliner. But anyways, so something also cool we did on Sunday. Oh, another beef is that I'm so lazy. I hate walking. I hate going on walks. Like, if it's a short little walk, like, I don't mind. But, like, walking around an entire city, I'm like, no, please. I just got, like, a dot of eyeliner down there. So I got that dot. It kind of looks like a beauty mark. So I kind of want to leave it. Okay, but seriously, look at this tissue. Like, it just dripped eye ink all everywhere. So I don't know if I should continue using that. I don't know. Let's go into the Hourglass face palette. I am not going to talk about the face palette because I am going to do a review of it. That should be up next week. I pretty much have all my thoughts locked down on it. But I want to show y'all just I'm not going to do a wear test of this palette, but I'm going to do like an application video of just the palette and give you my thoughts. But I want to show y'all it like beforehand, like with cream products underneath. So I can show y'all how shitty it is. So Tuesday, we go to the White House, and so I will say the first few days probably didn't help because A, it was the weather. I am a sunny weather girly. I need my vitamin D if I'm going to be out walking everywhere. I need some sunlight and not humid, wet conditions and rain on rain on rain. I need some good quality weather. That didn't happen. But also, I didn't do my makeup the first few days, which, again, I say it a lot. I don't need makeup to feel pretty, but, and then I got another drop. What the heck happened? We're just gonna do eyeshadow on the lower lash line, and we're just gonna pretend those don't exist. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen at all. Just gonna pretend that. Eyeliners. Let's see if I can empty out this bag. Oh my gosh, it's so dirty in here. Okay. So something I did bring was the e.l.f. Laguna bronzer stick. Didn't care for that. Don't care for that. Let's do brows. Oh, I didn't finish using the palette. I literally just used bronzer and called it good. We'll just leave it. The blush is fine on its own. But it's fine. I'm so distracted by like that eyeliner. What the F happened? Am I gonna have to run the Target? I have to run the Target before work to buy eyeliner today. I'll give another day for it to settle. And then I might make an emergency run. But the first few days, I didn't do makeup. Because it was like, it's rainy, it's humid, it's going to slide off my face, blah, 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 woe is me. I'm not going to do anything. And then I should have done my makeup, y'all. I should have done my makeup. Because even though I don't need makeup to feel pretty, I'm going to use ColourPop Wild Thing. It's their blue to green gel multi-chrome eyeliner. It doesn't look like a multi-chrome, but it's a good creamy eyeliner. So I don't need makeup to feel pretty, and I didn't want to because of the weather. But Tuesday, I decided to get the fluff over myself and do makeup anyways, and I felt so much better. So so much better, because other days I was just getting up, drinking coffee, and just pouting, and I was just reading a book. And I did get a lot of reading done on this trip, which was very nice. I didn't finish both books that I brought because they are big chunky books, but I did get a lot of reading done out of both books, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that. So it was good because I was just like getting some reading done and not doing makeup, but I was just in such a sourpuss mood. So Tuesday I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do my makeup. Even though it's rainy and gloomy, I'm still going to put some makeup on. And I felt better. So Tuesday we toured the White House, and the White House tour was, oh my gosh, just to get to the White House doors, there were 4 security checkpoints. Now when you tour the White House, you can't have any bags. You can have like your phone, you have to bring your ID, and you can have your phone. You can have like a lip balm, but that's about it. My husband brought in a candy bar because it was in his hoodie pocket. And at first they were like, no, you can't bring that in. And then like one security guard looks at another, and they're like, yeah, you can bring it in. I was just like, what? And I was just like, what? You're gonna let him bring in a candy bar? Make that make sense. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara because I was using it all trip. And it sort of sticks my lashes together. Let me get closer. But really good vacation mascara because I didn't have any smudging or pudging or anything. So I had the White House tour, which was really, really fun because, again, I did my makeup and I was just feeling a lot better. So I actually enjoyed myself. But also, my mother-in-law cannot walk very far, so she was in a wheelchair this entire trip, and I did most of the pushing in her in a wheelchair. It was like me and my sister-in-law that mostly did it, and my father-in-law. The only thing about my husband is that he had to take pictures of literally every single thing, so he was stealing my phone to take pictures and stuff, and it was annoying the crap out of me because I just wanted my phone to play Pokemon Go. I did play a lot of Pokemon Go. Fun fact, we went to the National Archives, which is also very cool. Nearly had a panic attack at the National Archives because of how loud it was in there. But if you're playing Pokemon Go in Washington, D.C., the Declaration of Independence is a Pokestop. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So, and I had a lot of near panic attacks. Friday when we were in Virginia Beach, I did have a panic attack. I did. Let me restart the camera. This is a long video. I know it is, but whatever. It's fine. So, the White House was really cool. It really lifted my spirits. Wednesday we went to Virginia. We had lunch with one of my father-in-law's cousins, so that was cool, I guess. They were nice people. I had a good time, but I was just getting really overwhelmed. And so on Friday, there is lip hair all over my lip, and it's annoying. Okay, so Friday we go to the Virginia NASA Museum, and that place was so cool, but I had a panic attack because, if you're new here, hello, I have schizoaffective disorder. It is very easy for me to get overstimulated. So at this museum, there was a bunch of screaming children. Very high lofty ceilings. They have airplanes hanging down from the ceilings. It was super cool. It was probably the best part of the trip was that museum. And of course I had to go have a panic attack. So that was that. So that was great. And then, so I ended the trip on a panic attack. Saturday, I was crying at the airport. I was like holding back tears on the flights because like, I just want to get home. I hope my car starts at the airport. I know parking's going to be super expensive because we had to park at the airport. We had to park off site. Like, I'm having all this anxiety. So I nearly had a second panic attack. My husband wasn't in a good mood for reasons I won't get into. But yeah, we survived the trip. went to Washington, D.C. and Virginia. It was a good time. This trip was not made for me. It really wasn't. I was just sort of like, you're showing up here. You're doing this. You're doing that. And so it was frustrating because I didn't really get to do things that I wanted to do, but also I didn't know what I wanted to do because I didn't put any thought and effort into this trip. I was just like, I don't want to be here. I really freaking don't. I did end up having a good time for a good part of the trip, but just the initial and the ending of it, like, panic attack was awful. And it's hard. Like, my job, I'm very fortunate with my job that most people, like, they may not understand schizoaffective disorder, but they are very understanding of it. And so I'm very fortunate in that aspect where I don't face judgment when I do have panic attacks, which is frequent. But it's hard being with people that don't understand mental illness as well as, and using terms that I find degrading, like calling somebody a whack job. That really got to me. Was like, oh, she's a whack job, and I'm like, don't, that's freaking mental illness, shut the up. So it was hard having a panic attack around people that don't understand what panic attacks look like and don't understand why I can't, like, I just hit, like, at the museum, I just sat in a car for 2 hours and read a book and journaled because I didn't want to see anybody. I couldn't force myself to get up. I felt so debilitated. If you have a panic attack, if you ever had one, you know what it's like. And then we went out to lunch and I just sat there, ate my food, and, like, my mother-in-law scooched over to me, and I have no idea, like, I didn't know what she was going to say, but I was just looking down saying, like, I don't want to talk about it. And she's like, do you want to go back to the Airbnb? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I ended up going back to the Airbnb, watching some video game YouTube videos, and calmed down. But yeah, ending the trip on a panic attack was not a good time. So that's it for this long, lengthy video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know my Get Ready's with me are very long. I did want to talk about my trip, the emotional roller coaster that it was. It was definitely an emotional roller coaster, so I want to thank y'all so much. I hope you stick around for my channel. I did not vlog it. I vlogged, like, the intro morning, like, at home, like, oh my gosh, it's early, we're gonna leave for the airport. And then, like, because I was in such a sour mood, I was like, I'm not vlogging any of this. And also, I didn't want to get made fun of for vlogging. Plus, I didn't have a vlog camera, and I would have had to vlog on my phone, and I didn't have my phone. Oh, also, Wednesday, we did go to Mount Vernon in Virginia, and that was pretty cool to see, like, Washington's house. And even though it was, like, rainy and cold, I got to watch my husband, like, nearly get bit by geese, so that was a good time. So we also did that. Thursday we had the beach. Friday I had my panic attack, blah blah blah. Overall, I did enjoy myself on this trip. I just wish I was in a better headspace. I wish I did my makeup more for it, because I think that would have lifted my spirits a little bit better. But next vacation I'm gonna plan it myself, and I'm gonna have a grand old time. So lesson learned. So as always, have joy, and bye.